Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Gut Solution. It is our Tuesday live stream here once again, and I am thrilled that you are all here with me. And it's a big day today in the group. So lots of awesome things happening for all of you. I want to see you all getting better, resolving your chronic digestive conditions, and truly getting well and living life again. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Mara Salerno. I am a functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner. I'm obviously the founder of the Gut Solution and of reclaimoptimalhealth.com. And what I do is I help people like you overcome their chronic digestive conditions is actually a recording that I did with one of my clients, Pat Connolly, who is a doctor. He is an OBGYN, and I actually work with quite a number of doctors. And in this interview, I think you guys are going to get a lot out of it, not only from his personal experience of overcoming Hashimotos and getting his cholesterol levels next to near perfect and losing some excess weight that he had, all through working on his gut and using the Gut Solution program, but also hearing his perspective as a doctor and seeing his mindset shifting. It's pretty exciting. And I'm trying to do my best to shift the paradigm of the medical establishment so that people are actually getting help. And that's going to take just doctors having a different form of education. So I'm really excited for you all to see this interview and to share it with you. Now, the other super exciting news that's gone out today, and maybe some of you have already heard it, but there is a promo going on this week inside of the group for all of you. And it's basically $500 off of my Gut Solution program. And it also offers you all 8 more weeks inside of the program. And it is a one-on-one program. So it's just you and me. It's not a group program. There aren't other people, because I truly believe that a group program cannot help many of you that have these chronic digestive issues. You need individualized support the whole way through. So I'm offering that all to you, as well as a welcome kit that is full of some of the very necessary and functional items that you all will need in order to rebuild your gut health. So they're not just like, yay, I got some welcome gifts. They're actually gifts that are functional that you'll be able to use. So I'm really thrilled to offer this all to you. This promotion is going to end on Thursday evening at midnight Pacific Standard Time. So those of you Eastern get a few more hours, you lucky ducks. And I'm really thrilled. So if you are interested in that, you can either comment here in this live stream, or you can comment within the post that I put in the group, and also emailed many of you about it if you did receive that. And it has all the details about the program. But what would happen is, once you comment and let me know that you're interested, I will reach out to you, usually through Messenger, unless for some reason you are not friends with me. Please make sure you are friends with me on Facebook. Otherwise, we can't communicate. And then I will set up a call with you and we can chit chat and see if you are a good fit for the program. So this is not like a just put your credit card in kind of situation. So I actually want to make sure you're a good fit, because I want you to get results. I want to see you overcome your chronic digestive condition. So we see if we're a good fit, and yeah, go from there. So I'm super thrilled. Now, a couple quick housekeeping items. Again, inside of this group at the top, there are some tabs, and there is a tab that is called Guides. And if you click on that, especially if you're newer to the group and you haven't had a chance, or, you've been here for a while and you want to check out some of the previous live streams, they are all recorded, and I keep them all here on the group page for you all to have, so that you can go back and watch things if you can't make it live, because I know it's difficult for everyone to get here at the same time. So go in there, check them out, watch them. They're chock full of information and my clients' experiences. And I hope they prove to be valuable and useful for all of you. Okay. And I really want this group to be as well. So I hope that you are all getting something out of this group. So let me know, please comment and say hello. I mean, whether you're watching live or on the live or on the replay, excuse me, say hello. Let me know you're here, that you've been watching. And hey, Maureen. And yeah, absolutely. And let me know what you're struggling with, how long you've been struggling with this chronic digestive condition. And then lastly, I wanted to say that as I play this interview that I did with Pat, actually, I think it was on Friday, I'm going to be sitting here watching live. So you're welcome to ask any questions. Please comment. We can interact back and forth. And even if you're watching on the replay, please do comment, because I come back and I answer questions and engage with you, because I want this to be a place of value for you and a place of resolve, I pray. But ask your questions. And then once the interview is done with Pat, I'll come back in here and we can have any more Q&As that you guys want to have and just kind of wrap it up. So does that sound good? Let me know a yes, Maureen, in the live comments. And for those of you watching on the replay, please do comment a big yes as well. I'm thrilled. It's an exciting day. I want to give back. I want to see all of you get well. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Maureen. Okay, so give me a quick second here and I'm going to pull up the video with Dr. Pat Connolly, one of my clients here inside the Gut Solution. Here we go.
All right, everyone. So I am joined here by Pat Connolly, one of my clients here inside the Gut Solution. And today he's going to just be sharing his experience with us. I'm really thrilled that he's here because he's a super busy guy. So we had to film this for you guys so that I could get his experience for you guys to hear, because it was, he's busy. He's delivering babies. So Pat, thanks for coming and joining us. And again, I appreciate you. And so why don't you start off by sharing with everyone why you decided to start, or why your wife kind of pulled you in, or how you decided that?
Well, actually, we found out about you through some friends that you know, Washburns, that had gone through your program and had really just out of just discussion had described what was going on. We said, you know what, that might be something to look into because of Kim's issues that she's been struggling with for years and getting worse. And I went into it saying, well, because we can all do better, I'm going to just support that and do it with her. Come to find out that it actually had a pretty significant impact for me in improving a lot of things that if you just keep ignoring them, you can get through it. But finally, we quit ignoring it and did some work on some pretty important things.
Awesome. So yeah, I was interested to see how it was going to go, because I've worked with a lot of couples, and you know, I never know how it's going to go. It's typically the wives that will bring their husbands in, but I was pleasantly surprised at how willing you were and how supportive you were, not only of your wife, but just even for yourself, like of the program, and being willing to be open-minded. I mean, you know, you could have just been like, oh, just hogwash or whatever, but you were really willing to be open-minded. And I think that makes a huge impact, not only in your journey, but also in your wife's journey. So your wife was struggling with reflux, pretty severe reflux. So, okay. So were you skeptical though still?
Still, not so much, but it's more for me. I haven't spent the time doing the studying to see where all this is coming from. I think, as we've said along the way, nutrition and balancing your various activities within all of that is essential for good health and longevity. But to look at such a complex regimen and have it make sense, it's rather difficult. I mean, you didn't start yesterday doing this, so it takes a while, and so that's where I went into it saying, well, where is the validation here that this isn't just hocus pocus or snake oil, And it's come a long ways, because obviously years ago it was a lot of snake oil, and you had people selling stuff and for many, many thousands of dollars to get nothing out of it. And it's easy to get conned because you want to believe and you want to feel better and you want to be successful, and so you're easily manipulated.
Yeah. Yeah.
But thankfully, that's not the case with you. So.
Yay. I'm a
Oh
real
yeah,
honest person. Yay. This is good. Okay, so you came to me, and I said, Pat, so what is your major complaint? What is the number one thing you want to work on? And you really wanted to work on lowering your cholesterol levels. You really wanted to work on losing some weight that you had on you. Those were really like the two major things. And I said, okay, well, let's, get to working on them. And what did you find? Like, what was one of the biggest focuses of what we did in order to help accomplish those goals?
Well, your approach was to tackle the foods and food allergies. And that was kind of an eye opener when you look at things that really should be healthy for you, but you're reacting against. And I'm still working on this idea that the thyroid has that much impact on the cholesterol and all of that. I mean, it's important, but your focus is that the thyroid needs to be managed much differently than is a sort of a standard approach to impact the cholesterol. And, so that's a learning curve there. So.
Yeah, and part of that really, what it really is its liver. It's liver function, because the liver is the one that really converts the thyroid hormones, and it's also the one that helps us with our cholesterol levels. And so if number one, the gut isn't functioning properly, then who takes on the brunt? It's the liver. It's like a bad coworker is what I always say about the liver. It always takes on the brunt of what the gut isn't able to accomplish properly. So when we have a leaky gut, when we have a damaged gut lining, it becomes very difficult for the liver to then have to deal with all of this brunt. And it already has a detoxification job, but now it has to do all this other stuff. So when it's overburdened, then it can't, help us with our cholesterol. It can't help convert our thyroid hormone properly. And so it becomes pretty problematic. And the thyroid, it's kind of like the body has these priorities, that it decides. Each person has its own unique priorities. And so when the thyroid is a greater priority than cholesterol levels to the liver, then it's going to prioritize the thyroid. And if the thyroid is taking first place, well, then tough luck with cholesterol,
Yeah.
So that's why looking at root cause and going as deep down the funnel as we can is so important. And that's what's able to help. That's what's really been able to help to move your cholesterol levels, has really been the work that we've done on your thyroid. And that's why we've seen the needle move in a great direction. So why don't you share with everyone, if you don't mind, kind of what you were doing with cholesterol before, just like the statins, and share with them what you were up to.
Well, I was approaching, a lower cholesterol diet, standard approach to dietary changes that you can do easily enough, and trying to maintain some sort of a exercise program, but with my other commitments, it's really tough to do consistently. So that really wasn't working very well. And then had been recommended for a few years to get onto statins, because it's a powerful therapeutic approach that does have strong evidence to reduce cardiovascular risk and strokes. And so by correcting my thyroid, I could look at a 30% reduction. I mean, my cholesterol, I look at a 30% reduction in 10-year cardiac risk. And I'm in an age group where that begins to matter. Should have done this 20 years ago when you start thinking about it, but you know how it is.
That's right.
And you weren't around 20 years ago. So anyway, so it was working. I was, near normal, and I probably would have had to go from 10 milligrams to 20 milligrams to finally get into normal ranges. And the nutritional program I was using is pretty effective at that, but it just hadn't quite got over the hump. And it didn't really correct the bowel, gut issues and everything else going on. So yeah, it was working, but it wasn't comprehensive, if you will.
Sure. Yeah. So has it been surprising that we've been able to move the needle in a positive direction with your cholesterol and almost near perfect?
Well, not really, because I know that it should work, but the trick is figuring out how to do it.
Yes, totally.
So surprising that we actually figured it out, because I've been fighting it for a while.
Hey, good news. So with the food sensitivities and food, has it been shocking for you when I've been like, Pat, you should eat some red meat, or, certain things that I've said about food? Has anything surprised you, or has everything been?
That is a big surprise that you recommend the meats that you do, because again, brother is a physician who and his wife have become vegan, and he's 6 years older than I am and looks really good and doing well. And the biggest reason I'm worried about it is some of the information about Alzheimer's risk and red meats. And we have 3 generations of Alzheimer's. So it still kind of bothers me a little bit that I haven't cut back more on animal proteins. But, some is good, too much is bad. And so I'm not sure on the balance yet. I'm still thinking about it.
Yeah. And I think for each individual person, we know, and this, it's unique. But I do always suggest, especially for people who are struggling with autoimmune disease, or have a tendency towards it, it's really important to get in good proteins and fats, and especially red meats are very necessary, because it's got very particular building blocks and minerals for that. And, there's all kinds of research that has come out as well about Alzheimer's and, nutritional value. And this is one of the things that I always say, and, all of you here in the group have heard me say it as well, which is that, sometimes a certain diet works for somebody, like, like following a fad diet, like a vegan diet, etc. And it can work for somebody for a period of time. And there are very few people that it works for them for decades. And then eventually the camel breaks the back, and something will give. And so this is what I typically see. And so if you get lucky and you are on a diet that works for you, I mean, honestly, it hardly ever happens. And so anyway.
Well, and
Food for
in their
thought.
case, they live in an area where they have access to huge amounts of wide variety of plant-based foods, and look where we're at.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
lucky to get carrots and lettuce, you know.
yeah, yeah, totally, totally.
And you know, so it's a huge undertaking, and he's being retired. They have been able to sustain it, and but I have to agree with you. I think that the protein issue of vegan diets is extremely difficult, and you have to be super knowledgeable to make it work.
Yeah, and even
And you have to
sometimes,
be somewhere you can get the foods too. So,
yes, and even if even if you're super knowledgeable and you do everything right, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to line up with your metabolic type. So that's a deep dive we could go into for hours.
yeah.
Um, okay, so let's see. And then you had some weight loss that
Mhm.
you weren't sure whether you were going to be able to keep it off or not, or
Well, yeah, I lost probably 15, I think 15 pounds overall, which probably was a fair amount of water retention from, you know, the metabolic imbalances that we all have. And so being corrected in all of those metabolic imbalances should allow you to keep it off, but that's what we always say, isn't it?
well, yeah,
So
but
far, it's been over a year, and yeah, I go up a couple of pounds, down a couple of pounds, but it hasn't been a problem to just maintain it. So,
yeah, yeah. Yeah. And have you noticed that, are you able to manage your stress in life a little bit better? Because it's not like, you know, your work environment has really changed all that much.
I don't know, because it's just there. It's always been there. I try to let it flow off and not impact everything else. But
Do you feel like exercise has been
that's
helping
been the biggest.
you to move through it and
When I
being
look
more
back and
consistent
the
with it?
energy wasn't there to exercise. You know, it's crazy. You need to exercise, burn energy to get better, but you don't have the energy to go do it. So that's been the biggest difference, is the exercise has had a huge impact on stress and energy and well-being, if you will.
Good, good. Yeah. And so, what do you think is your biggest takeaway as far as the work that we did with your gut and kind of where you are now, or anything that you learned in regards to the gut?
Well, it's still discouraging to find out that all of the things that you're used to eating for your whole life are trying to kill you. The gluten thing, I mean, yeah, you look back, yeah, I've known it's been a problem, but not celiac, so you figure, well, you should be able to eat it. But every time I cheat, you know, about 2 days later, you pay for it. So it's that's a learning curve, and sustaining that's been difficult. But now that you feel better, whenever you cheat, your body tells you, "Hey, dummy, knock it off."
I know,
So
I know. So do you feel a lot better?
yeah, yeah, back to where I should have been, you know, years ago. I mean, I've always managed to maintain a heavy workload and a lot of energy burn. And you look back, yeah, I was fine, but this is better. So,
Did you feel supported by me during your time in the program?
oh yeah, yeah, supportive. Well, I'm not used to getting chewed out as often as
Telling you what
I
to
usually the
do.
one doing the chewing out on the others. You know?
I hope you felt loved. I hope you felt like I was helping you move in the right direction.
Well, certainly.
Yeah, yeah. But sometimes we need a kick in the butt a little bit to get us moving.
Yeah, you do. reality checks are good. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know. What would you tell to people who are on the fence, who are, thinking about doing this, but they're unsure, or maybe they have trust issues about, is something going to work? Is it not going to work? Like that.
Well, I've already recommended this program to a number of my people I see, and I don't know if they followed up or not because, I haven't heard back, but I guess it's all in how you want to tackle your health issues. And I'll be the first one to admit that what I do isn't perfect. It's very good. We do a lot of good. We help people get better, but you hit roadblocks either economically or medically or with, the knowledge that I have. It's not the same database as your approaches and what you know. So I was just talking to Kim and a couple others. We were at dinner and I said, this is the right approach. Get what I do, keep doing what I'm doing, but add what you do, and we would have a complete healthcare system.
Totally.
It's about as simple as it is. But it's a big paradigm shift, and with all the conspiracy theorists and suspicion, and I mean, anybody who's educated and is willing to teach and be authoritative is suspect. I mean, you feel that, I'm sure. I know the pushback I've had in the last 5 years it's just surprising and disheartening and discouraging, because it's like, well, you want to go read these research articles and do all this stuff to prove me right or wrong, go for it, but don't just assume that I'm lying to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's where I'm coming from is, why do you have these suspicions, and how can we get around them? And it usually works because you just confront them and say, where's this coming from?
Sure. Sure. And have dialogue about it. It's good to have dialogue. But yeah, it would be wonderful if we could have a world where, all the beautiful forms that really work in improving people's health could come together. And that way we can use all the investigative tools and have all of the resources available, and people can really put their health into their own hands and do what they need to do to really truly get better. Yeah, I
Yeah.
do believe
I
that.
think that's what integrative medicine is trying to do, the internists and others, but I don't know if right now it's just a buzzword to get people in the door. I don't know what they're doing. I probably should go to an integrative medicine conference where the people that are doing it are talking about it.
Yeah. Well, is there anything else that you want to add? Anything else that you want to share that you think everyone should know, whether it's about your experience or about the program or about me or anything?
Well, as I've always teased you, I hate to admit it, but I think you know what you're doing.
Thanks, Pat.
No, it's been a very enlightening journey, and I'm looking back saying I'm sure glad that Washburn's accidentally told us about it. Things happen for a reason, maybe, and we're searching for years for some solutions for Kim, and by accident it helped me a ton also, and it's a nice surprise.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate Kim. And I'm so grateful for you for sharing your story with everybody and letting them hear from you. Letting them also hear from a person who's a doctor and who's a human being and who's having their own personal experiences. Because, I think sometimes people wonder, like, what goes on for all these different types of people. And, we're all human beings. We're all having our struggles. we're all having our health issues, unfortunately. And so it's great that you've been able to overcome a lot of things and you're able to keep moving in the right direction, because health is a journey. It's not a destination. And that's what I say about gut health as well. And it's a lifestyle.
Yeah, it really is. It's learning what works for you as an individual, and it makes sense now, but when you're just sort of going through it, you don't stop to think about it. It's easy to say, well, why doesn't this or that food help me and make me healthy because it's a healthy food, You don't really think about the fact that your particular genetics and epigenetics are screwing you up.
Yeah, there's a lot of factors, and also just damage. The body gets
Yeah.
damaged to the trials and errors of life and visible and invisible toxins and the whole gamut. So anyway, thank you so much. And I hope you all enjoyed this interview with Pat, and I will talk to you all soon.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you, Pat.
Welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, I hope you all really enjoyed that interview with Pat. For those of you who might be here live with me, what did you think? How was it to hear from a doc and see his experience and the way his mind is working and kind of the transformations, the paradigm shifts that have taken place? Maureen, yeah. It's really cool when I can get them on and let you guys see the transformation. And that's really my goal here is, yes, I would love to work one-on-one to help as many of you as possible. And in like the big scope of things, really just try to shift the paradigm about what it means to be healthy. Because, if we can't have dialogue, if we can't have communication, even with like people that are doctors, we're really not going to get anywhere. And the way to really make an impact is to have the experience. Yeah, it would be a great approach, wouldn't it? Yeah, I know. I think we're going to get there. It's just taking way longer than any of us would like it to. Let me see here. Gayla, am I saying your name right? Gayla, if you're still here, what did you think of the interview as well? And Maureen, if you have anything to add or any questions that you want to ask, please feel free to drop them. All right, while I wait for anyone to drop those in, I again want to encourage you, especially those of you who have been here for a while, even for those of you who are new. I mean, if you're in here, you're watching the content, you're understanding the approach, you know that this is going to help you, then please reach out to me. Yeah, good, Gayla. I give you some hope. I'm glad. Not empty hope either, which is good. But I want to encourage you. This is a great week to get into the program if you're a good fit, because you get a $500 discount. You get 8 more weeks in the program with me. Again, we work only one-on-one. This is not a group program environment, because I don't believe that a group program will be able to help you all resolve your chronic digestive conditions. You need individualized support, very specific support, and that can only happen one-on-one. And yeah, I like how open-minded he is too. It's kind of rare, honestly. And also the welcome bonuses that you get as far as your kit and some of the useful tools that you'll need for your journey. So for any of you who are watching here live, if you're watching on the replay and you're interested, please comment. This promotion is going to be over on Thursday evening at midnight Pacific Standard Time. So be sure that you get in and you message me, and we have a call and talk and see if you are a right fit for my program and if we feel like we can work together. And if there's anything else, please, ladies, drop it in and I'll be happy to answer you here live. Otherwise, we'll finish here in a moment until we meet again next week. And, also let me know if there's anything in particular that you want to hear about topic wise. I'm happy to cover it and do the best that I can for you all. So, whether it's here in these comments for this live stream, or it's another one, or you make a separate post in the group is fine. Let me know if there's certain things that you want to hear about that you feel like maybe I haven't covered yet. Happy to do that. Oh, good. Well, I am so thrilled to be here again with you all. I'm so thrilled for it to be Tuesday, be sharing this really awesome content with you all, real life experiences of people overcoming their chronic digestive conditions, improving their health, and getting back to life. So I look forward to seeing you all again next Tuesday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And until then, please feel free to engage in the group and I will be more than happy to answer your questions and engage with you. All right, everyone. Ciao.